People struggle a lot with pricing because they don't see how it fits into the overall narrative of how they're trying to market their product or service. So let's say you're trying to look at the competition and price your dental exam or price your braces, your dental implants. That's the mistake. Is we come at it from a competitive lens of let's look at the market, let's see what other people are charging, and let's try to charge something similar, or let's try to beat them a bit. And the problem is that we make price the main focal point of how we will beat the competition. Because when we focus on the competition, we can't help but become like them. When we focus on the competition, we become a commodity. So the first step to escaping the commodity race, escaping price competition, price wars, creating margins because you're able to create value in a different way beyond price. Like creating value by lowering your price is a very uncreative way. There's better ways to create value, right? We're not creating value, we're removing the value that someone has to give. So it's not really creative. Anyway, what we try to do, or the first thing we have to do, is to differentiate. And if you haven't seen my video on differentiation, go check it out. It'll walk you through the exercise. It's an exercise on how to differentiate your practice, how to look at the market, see the competition and say, okay, this is where they are, we're gonna be over here, and as a result, we're gonna be a better choice for the people we choose to serve. So once you differentiate, now we can actually look into creating a price that is valuable, believe it or not. A price creates value. So price affects your marketing, and your marketing affects your price. So the stronger your pricing, the stronger your marketing is, right? If we have a terrible price, it's actually going to hurt our marketing, and I'll explain why. But if we have really good marketing, we're going to be able to raise our price. But if we have terrible marketing, we're not going to be able to increase our price. So price and marketing exist in this strange loop where one affects the other. It's like the chicken and the egg. Which comes first? Well, my argument would be that you start with differentiation. So once you do, here's how it plays into the overall narrative. Your price is a shorthand. It's a shorthand for all the functional signals, all the other things of when someone doesn't get it, when someone doesn't understand, how can we help them understand quickly? That's price. If I go to a wine bar and I know nothing about wine, how do I know wine A is better than wine B? If I know nothing about it, it's typically going to be the price. It is a universal shorthand. And consider this, we're the most distracted generation ever. We're 50 times more distracted than our parents. Our parents were 50 times more distracted than their parents. So essentially, we're 2,500 times more distracted than our grandparents. And so what our brains have to do is we have to filter out constantly. We have to filter out signals, other people trying to tell us stuff, of things that we don't care about. And so as a result, a lot of the times we lead by shorthand. We lead with a summary of what this product represents, this product or service, and that happens to be price, okay? So how we price is going to affect the narrative people tell themselves about your product or service. So if you have a low price, people are going to perceive it a certain way than if you have a high price. It's going to affect your marketing. All right, and next it's going to be alignment. So back to the differentiation exercise. When you go through it, you'll pick 2 or 3 axes of how you will differentiate. So axes are just those things that people tend to care about. So one axis might be personalized care versus efficient and fast care. That could be one axis. Right? From there, we're picking like, okay, how do I want to be as a practice? What do I want to stand for? How will I be better for people? Right? What are the ways we will polarize ourselves by choosing to be one way instead of another? Therefore, being worse for some people, but being better for some people. All right? Price has to align with that. So let's say I choose the axes of efficiency, efficiency of cost, cost effectiveness. Our price has to be in alignment with this. So our marketing determines our price. If I choose to be aligned with cost efficiency, you better believe that that's going to impact your price, right? And on the flip side, if your marketing is going for high quality, luxury, if that's your marketing angle, then that's going to affect your price, and it should. So the trap people fall into is they say we're going to go for the highest quality and offer people value by lowering the price. What happens then? The shorthand gets messed up, the alignment gets messed up. So people see it and they say, oh wow, there is no value. And the selfish temptation we might fall into is to think they're going to be rational beings, take all the time, take their attention, and figure out my product or service to figure out how actually valuable it is, and realize that this is a steal because the price is low. No, that's not what happens. People are irrational. We like to save, we like to conserve our attention because of how distracted we are these days. So we're looking for shorthands, and it better be in alignment with how you present the rest of yourself, or else it becomes confusing. So imagine if Rolex was $100. You would think, wow, that is a scam. Like imagine seeing an ad for a $100 Rolex. I don't care if it's real, like it's just gonna be a scam. It's out of alignment. All right, so I think you're getting the idea. But let's say on the flip side, you're now going for cost-effective and cheap, yet your price is expensive. Obviously, that's gonna be out of alignment. It's almost like if you promote yourself as a very cheap, very cost-effective service, and people who believe that dentistry should be cheap and cost-effective align with that. So they come into your doors and they see marble floors, they see a $20,000 front desk slab of precious stone. That's out of alignment, and they're gonna run away because they're gonna realize, hey, what we've been told, cost-effective and stuff, it might not be true. The narrative breaks apart. So perfect price is in alignment with your narrative. It allows people to quickly understand what your price is or what your product or service is. All right, so I hope that clarifies a bit of how we should begin to price stuff. So first differentiate, then think of how can we create alignment and make it a shorthand for the rest of your marketing.